Hi, it's me, Destiny Brandt, founder of It's Destiny Sales Recruiting, and hopefully you're a recruiter. I wanted to make a video today about the power of being proactive and having a 10 out of 10 post-interview follow-up game. I think that a lot of people need to realize that interviews start, trust starts, relationship starts way before you have an opportunity to meet someone, whether that's officially in a B2B sales environment or in a sales interview. I do like to encourage a lot of my candidates to think, how can you put your best foot forward by sending a pre-interview note or an agenda? There's lots of examples all over the page on things that you can do or include to put your best foot forward and really show a company like, hey, I'm excited. Context matters. Saying something like, hey, I know that there's a lot of people interested in this role. I wanted to provide you some additional details, things that we encourage people to send in a pre-interview note. Sales stories, what is the situation, task, action, result, lesson, takeaway as it relates to the sales cycle, being in a startup environment, anything that can kind of talk about your soft skills, time that you utilized grit, had to bring multiple solutions to a problem. So you can essentially say like, hey, I wanted to provide you some examples so that you can see and feel, experience some of these sales stories. When it comes to a sales story, it doesn't hurt to link out as many things as possible. You were selling to this person, you were at this quota, giving a really firm understanding of what you did, what strategies you used to get there. And then the takeaway can be how it applies to this product positioning, and this stage of a company. So send an agenda that has sales stories. Other things can be reverse engineering your quota. We have quota calculators. This is the quota based on your past of this many activity points and this meetings at this many close rates. That way they can understand that you have a science tied to how you're going to get to your revenue goals. This can be teaching them something. And this is an episode of 30 Minutes to President's Club where we talked about multi-threading. My main takeaway was X. You can also kind of dissect things that are on your resume. Here's a screenshot of, my resume or something that I'm really proud of, or here's a screenshot of a recommendation that I'd gotten from an executive. Don't assume people have seen some of these things. Sometimes highlighting accomplishments that you're really proud of. I've also seen people have things like brag books or asked executives to make videos about them. So anything that you think that's going to build the trust, bridge those lines. You can also take some tips from our website on things that you can write specifically to them, a drip campaign, a cadence, a buyer matrix, specific discovery questions that you ask to that specific buyer, or just generic ones, a needs analysis, a screenshot from a framework or a content creator that you follow, or a breakdown of a business concept on Pinterest, right? Job of a COO and all their responsibilities. It can be so many things. It can be a really unique piece of research that you found, a tidbit from their podcast or an article from forever ago. So anything that really shows that you are motivated, that you're proactive, that you know how to kind of build a business case, and that it can be as specific to them as you deem necessary. The same goes for post-interview follow-ups. I think that one of the more important things in sales is the power of a good recap. What did you hear? How does that align to you? And what are next steps? And how are you going to be proactive in those next steps? So I think a lot of people overthink, writing really strong pre-interview notes or post-interview follow-ups in the sense that it's like, well, I need to write a new one for everyone. But if you have a framework, examples, a strategy of what you like to use and when, in some sense, you can automate or template out these frameworks. And then for every interview, you can just apply that template. So get organized today, put your best foot forward, think what kind of value can you give to someone, especially as it relates to that specific persona that you're going to be meeting, and then giving them something that they can look at on their phones, experience and feel to match with what they're seeing on your resume and your LinkedIn to what they're ultimately feeling on the call. And then as they're debriefing and trying to determine not only who they move forward, but ultimately who they're hiring, you have a bunch of data points, examples, and proof of what you've done. If no one's told you today, you're doing an amazing job, and I'm so beyond proud of you. Don't forget to drink your water. Cheers to you.